we started both Apache 2 and nginx, and WordPress is installed with Apache 2. And we are able to access Apache 2, but with a different port, not with the port 443, which is the normal HTTPS port, but with some other port. We choose this one, 8443. This is not a nice URL. It would be nice if we could access also WordPress with a normal URL like this one, without a custom port. But the port 80 and 443 are already being used by nginx, so we need to set up something on nginx so that it can accept requests for this domain, for the WordPress 1 and WordPress 2 domains. And after accepting a request for this domain, nginx is going to forward the request to Apache 2, and will retrieve the web page from Apache 2 and will send it to the browser. In this case, nginx is behaving like a reverse proxy. A normal proxy is, for example, when we access something on the internet from the browser. Proxy is caching this web page. When another person is trying to access the same page or the same image or the same document, then proxy is reading it from cache and sending it to the browser. So proxy stays between the browser and the internet. But in this case, it does the opposite, and so it is called a reverse proxy. So let's go to the configuration of nginx. Sites available and sites enabled. Right now we have only this one for the Nextcloud, and the default site as well. Let's create a configuration for WordPress 1, but I'm going to copy it from the instructions because it is a long. It is difficult to write all of these lines. Control Shift and V. Press enter, and it has created the configuration for this site. So we have a server block here, which is listening to the port 80, and another server block which is listening to the port 443 SSL. And the domains that are being accepted by this server are this one and this one. It is including this snippet from for Let's Encrypt so that it can receive SSL certificate from Let's Encrypt. And then we have a redirection here to HTTPS. So it is redirecting to HTTPS. And the configuration for the HTTPS is similar. Server name, and then here we have SSL certificates, access log, error log. And now this is where the kind of trick or magic is happening. It is passing the request to this URL, which we know is being accepted by Apache 2, and Apache 2 is responding to this URL with the website. And nginx is getting the website from Apache 2 and it is sending it back to the browser. So nginx is working, or it is behaving like a reverse proxy in this case. And let us check the and one thing here that I missed. Okay, so it is using these certificates. I think they are already present. We should enable this. Sites enabled. Sites available. WordPress 1. Control A. Link symbolic. And now let me check the configuration of nginx. Test. It says syntax is okay. And now let me reload the configuration of nginx. System control, reload, nginx. Everything seems okay. And how can I test it? I can test it on the browser, but with curl as well. So let me try to remove this and see what happens. There is something wrong. A curl with the option V for verbose, we can get more information about the information that it is exchanging with the web server. WordPress 1.user1.fsal. Oops. No. Okay, let me try it again. We cannot find anything here. Everything seems okay here, but let us look at the logs of Apache 2 or logs of nginx first. Nginx. So I think there is a redirection. It is redirecting too many times to itself. But let us also have a look at the logs of Apache 2. And it is saying here actually redirected you too many times. And the issue is with the WordPress setting site URL and the WordPress setting home, because they still contain the old URL that, okay, let us show it. Option get site URL. So site URL is still containing this URL with the custom port, and this is being this is not correct. So let's fix this and try again. Option set. And also let's fix the home option. And now let's try it again, maybe with curl first. And I think it is receiving some result, and we can try here, and now it is working. So that was the problem, and now we can do the same thing with the second WordPress site. So let's go to sites available, nginx sites available. Let me copy this one to WordPress 2. And modify it. I can replace with control and this slash. Let me try control. WordPress 1 replaced with WordPress 2. Yes. Save, exit, and make a link to sites enabled. Syntax is okay. Reload configuration of nginx. And then go to the directory of WordPress 2. And set the options, and the options site URL and home. And also site URL. Test it with curl. It seems to be working, and now let's test it on the web browser. This was not okay. It says the client needs a new connection for this request. Okay, let me try to restart nginx and Apache 2 and see whether it is something related to caching.
I don't know if it can be that in the configuration file you left the port, the previous port, and this is a different port, I think. This is 443.
In this configuration file, or okay.
When you change, like the same configuration file you changed is the same for both the websites? Because there
Yes,
was a
I
port.
changed server name from WordPress 1 to WordPress 2, and this one also, yes. And okay, server name is okay here, and certificate file.
The port there is is correct. Yeah, 8443.
Yes, I think it
Should
is
be
correct.
okay.
Yes, and
I don't know.
okay. I have in the notes here some instruction to modify etc host, but I don't think it is related to that one. But let's try it as well. So I can add here these lines 127.0.0.1, which is localhost, but use this domain WordPress 1 dot user 1 dot fs dot al, and then WordPress 2 dot user 1 dot fs dot al. So when the reverse proxy, when nginx is trying to resolve this URL, it is being given this IP, which is the local host, instead of the public IP. And actually I can, okay, this is the important one. So I'm not sure if this makes any difference, but let's try it again. I see that Anton has a comment here.
Yes,
Yes.
I came a bit late, so I missed one part.
Yeah, yes, Tony. We are here. We have two configurations for the same WordPress site. One is the nginx configuration, which is answering on the normal HTTPS port. So the configuration of nginx, is actually listening to the port 80 and listening also to the port to the normal HTTP and HTTPS ports. But then nginx does not answer the query itself, but it is forwarding it to this URL, which is the URL that and the port that Apache 2 is listening to. So Apache 2 is listening to this port. So nginx is getting the request on the port 443 HTTPS, and it is forwarding the request to this URL, but on port 8443, the port that Apache 2 is listening to. And the setting that we made on /etc/hosts makes sure that nginx is resolving this domain to the local host. This is just for being more efficient, I think, for efficiency. Now let me look again at the logs. Where Apache 2. Maybe okay, it doesn't. So right now I'm not able to figure out what is the issue, but I will look at it later, and we will clarify it on the next meeting. So now that we enabled or we are using a reverse proxy, the server itself is the VPS itself is receiving the requests on the port HTTP and HTTPS, which are the ports 80 and 443. But on the firewall, we also opened these ports last time, which now are not needed. So we can close these ports on the firewall. Firewall CMD zone public. It is this zone, the public zone. Remove port. This one, permanent, and also remove port 8443 permanent, and reload, firewall CMD reload, and if we list, they are gone. So yes, Tony, you can follow these instructions. Yes, actually, I'm trying to follow these instructions as well right now, but maybe not exactly on the same steps. Yes.
Okay, so when I'm trying to redo it, I can strictly follow this line. That's
yes,
good.
Yes, you can follow the instructions here. Yeah.
Okay.
We have done. Okay, you joined late, so you maybe missed some steps. So you can follow these instructions. Yes. And after adding these lines to etc host, if we ping, we see that we will get the local IP here. So the answer is coming from the local host here, and also for this one. And this is only internal, so if I ping from outside the VPS, I will still get the public IP of the VPS. But if I ping inside the VPS, I will get the local host. And this is valid for the connection from nginx to Apache 2. So when nginx is saying, get me a page from this domain on port 8443, it is actually accessing the local host here. Just a small optimization, or I don't know, maybe it doesn't improve anything at all, but it doesn't hurt to do it. We can do it. But at least this site, WordPress 1, is working, so we can continue with this one. So at least this one is okay. So now I will show you a problem in the logs. When we have a reverse proxy, there is some small issue in the logs. And let me split the Tmax window in two panes. And on the first pane, I am going to show the logs of nginx. Var log nginx. Control A, tail, and follow. This is going to follow the logs. On the second pane, I'm going to show the logs of Apache 2. var log Apache 2 vp1 access dot log. Now I will go and make a refresh on this page. And this is the log for nginx. There are two lines of logs actually. And we see here that it is reporting the IP from where the request is coming, from where the HTTP request is coming. But on the logs, something. But on the logs of Apache 2, I see this IP, which is, what is this? This is the IP of my VPS, I think. I expected localhost here. I don't know why it is getting this IP of the VPS. Yes, it is the IP of VPS. And this is because this is happening because the request to Apache 2 is coming from nginx. nginx is on this VPS, so this is kind of correct. But actually, we are losing the real IP of the browser, of the client, where the request is coming from. And we have to, some applications don't care about the IP of the client, but for some other applications it is important. They are using it in one way or another. So it is better if the application can receive the IP of the client. And we can make this with some configurations on the reverse proxy side and also on the backend, on nginx and on Apache 2. On the reverse proxy, it has to add the IP of the client, it has to include it in a header. And actually, the configuration of nginx does it. So the configuration that we have done, or the default configuration for reverse proxy, does include the real IP. And but the Apache 2 should accept this. By default, it does not accept for security reasons, but we have to tell Apache 2 that it cannot accept the IP from this header. So let me go to the other window and to the configuration of nginx first. Let me try it with Nano. Actually, I should use Vim in this case because Vim is using colored. It is coloring the code. It is better. Okay, let me try with Vim. So before this proxy pass, we have this include proxy params. So let us have a look what is inside this configuration file. it is this file here that is being included. In this configuration, it is setting some headers, set header, proxy set header, and so on. So it is setting this X forwarded for and also X real IP. And we have to tell Apache 2 that it should get the IP of the client from one of these headers, either this one or this one, I think. So let's go to the configuration of Apache 2. So nginx is doing its job. It is providing this header to Apache 2. And we can use this configuration. We can create a small configuration file on Apache 2. I will copy it here. And it is going to create this file, conf available remoteip.conf. There are two lines of configuration. Remote IP header is X forwarded for. So it is telling Apache 2, get the IP from this header, get the IP of the client from this header. And also there is another instruction, remote IP trusted proxy localhost. So trust this header only if it is coming from an IP like this. So if the reverse proxy is the localhost. Now, after adding this configuration, I have to enable it. Apache 2 enable configuration remote IP. Remote IP. And it is here as a symbolic link. Now reload Apache 2. I think we also have to enable a module. So we have to enable the module remote IP. Because without this module, it does not recognize this command. So this command is implemented in this module, or it is defined in this module. Mods enabled, remote IP. We have enabled it, but we have to restart Apache 2. And let us check the status. It is okay. Now let's go to this window and let me try to refresh again this website, this page. It is still getting the IP. Okay, let me try this. reload. And now Apache 2 is also seeing the real IP of the client. So now it can use also the IP of the client. So I think this fixed the issue. Now let's see some things about maintenance of the VPS. First of all, we can use the command ps to see a list of processes in order to monitor the status of the VPS. And because the list is long, we can pipe it to less. So this is a list of processes, but we can also use the command ps3. We actually have seen these commands at the beginning of the course. I'm just making a quick refresh. So this is a more compact view, and it also shows the relationships parent and child among the processes. And with the option -p, it is showing also the process ID for each process. We also have seen the command top, and we know that this is a dynamic list of the most active processes. So the processes that are using or consuming more CPU and more memory are being shown at the top. And also this is a summary of the status of the system. And the command htop is similar to top, but a little bit more fancy. Sorry. Okay. There are 54 tasks, for example, 25 threads, and this is the status of memory and so on. This is nicer than the command top. Let's exit with Q. Oops.
May I ask some question?
Sure,
One question.
Sure.
Before, when you use the top command, there was about the memory. There was the free available and buffer cache. That was a lot. And what does it mean? Yeah, the free is 600. Used 700, and buffer cache is 2 gigabytes and 800. What is it, the buffer cache?
This one here.
Yeah.
Memory. This is the total memory. It is about 4 gigabytes. This is used. This is the buffer and cache are a part of memory that is used for as a kind of help. So if it is done with if the system is finished with some process, maybe it does not close everything, but it is keeping it in buffer. in case, or it is keeping it in cache in case it needs it again. So it does not discard it immediately in case it needs it another time. But of course, if it is short of memory, then it is going to discard it and use the memory. So it is keeping some things in memory just in case they will be needed. It does not need them, but just in case it may need them later. And since there are some free space in memory, it is utilizing it. It is making use of this free space. So
okay, thank you.
actually,
It's like temporary.
Yeah, it is a temporary things. There are things that are being kept temporarily in memory. They are not really needed, but maybe they will be needed soon. And if they are in memory, it will be faster to just use them from memory instead of loading them again from the disk. But if there is no free space and the system needs some space, then it is going to discard some of these objects that are in buffer or in cache. And it is using different policies, which one to discard, which one to keep, and things like this. And I think this one, HTOP also shows it. So this, it is showing it by color. So this. So maybe this yellow color is the buffer and the cache. I'm not sure about all the details, but this command is useful. There is another useful command that allows us to have a snapshot view of the system, and it is called glances. Let's install it. So again, we see the amount of CPU that is being used, amount of memory or percentage, load. And here again, we have at this column, we have about CPU, but it is this is the amount of CPU being used by user processes. This is amount of CPU being used by system processes. And this is input-output way. And again, about the memory, total memory 3.74 gigabytes used, and free. It does not show the cache in this case, the cache or the the cache is being counted as free. I think. In this case. And you know about swap. Swap is the part of the disk that is used to help the memory, the RAM. But in this case, in this system, we are not using any swap. So the total amount of swap is 0. And also, this is showing the task, CPU and memory, disk input output, and the corresponding processes and the corresponding users. For example, right now this process itself, glances, is using a lot of CPU and memory. It is at the top of the processes. And the second is Redis, MariaDB, and so on. Okay, with Q we can exit from from this program as well, or quit. And another,
Just,
yes,
just to ask a question, what about IO top?
where is it?
I put it in the chat.
Okay. IOTop is another command, you mean? It is another.
Julian Sanin told me once that with this IOTop, I could find out that some installation procedure was blocked because it indicated that nothing was happening in the system.
Okay, let me have a look at it. I don't think I've used it before, but so it does for input-output usage what top does for CPU usage. Okay, let's try to install it. So it has disk read and disk write columns and the corresponding command. Yes, it shows the communication with the disk of different processes, and maybe the processes that are making the most read and write operations are being shown at the top. Read and write with respect to the disk. Yeah, right now Postgres is on the top, and Postgres is a database, so it is normal that it does some read and write on the disk. But right now the system is quiet, so there are not lots of read and write operations, I think. But let me try to make a refresh here. But it is very quick. I cannot catch it. I was expecting to see MariaDB, for example, going at the top. Okay.
Yes, I had the imagination that this was useful once when some operation should have going on with
Yes.
writing and reading, but they didn't go, and IOTop showed it. And so he said, oh, this installation is stuck. You have to block it. Okay, never mind.
Yes.
I never heard about glances, so we have a overview of more things. Stop.
Yes.
Sorry.
And another command is the system control that we have used in some cases before, and it has some subcommands. For example, list units, list auto mounts, list paths. So we can check the status of the system with this command, system control. For example, let's try list units. It is listing units currently in memory. Let's see what this does. So system control, list units. So this is showing some information about the current status of the system. but right now I don't understand much from it, but let's see, for example, list sockets.
Okay.
Yes, Tony. I can hear you, Tony. You can also speak.
Thank you.
For example, another thing that we can list is timers. And timers are things that are similar to cron in the old setup of Unix. And we see this nc1 cron.timer that we have created when we installed nginx. And there is also this certbot.timer that is installed by the certbot package to update automatically and periodically the certificates that certbot is managing. And there are also some other log rotate, some other timers. So these are the equivalent of cron jobs, things that are being executed periodically. And system control, we can use status. Now we have used this command before, for example, status nginx or status apache 2 to look at the status of one service. But if we don't specify a service, then it is showing the status of the whole system. So state, I guess, of server 1 is running. There are 334 units. And then what else? For example, we see Apache 2.service, which is a system control service or systemd service. It has this many processes running. And these are the process IDs here and the command. And the other services as well with the corresponding processes. So it is showing the status of the current system. All the services are running in the system. And we have seen, for example, status nginx, and one of the things here is the configuration file for this service. This, for example, is the configuration file for this service. I can just copy this one and then paste it here and look at the configuration of the nginx service. But I can also use system control cat nginx. This cat nginx is going to show the configuration for this service, for the nginx service. Or show nginx instead of cat. Show. This is actually displaying all the settings for this service, because most of them are default settings, and they are not modified in the configuration file. But with this show, we can see all the settings for this service. These are some complex things. Even I don't understand all of them in details. I may understand one thing or two somewhere, but not all of them, of course. So let's continue next time. We can stop here and we can continue next time.